up, Army? This is Jaden's Videos, and I'm back with another Halloween 2020 animatronic review, and this one is on a Home Depot Halloween 2020 animatronic. This is the Jack-in-the-Box. This is definitely one of my favorite props of 2020. I would say it's definitely up in my top 10, and it is without a doubt my favorite clown prop of the year, though I do love Peekaboo Clown, and he definitely comes in second place. I say the Jack-in-the-Box is definitely my favorite of the year, and dare I say, probably one of my favorite clowns ever. He's fantastic, and I cannot wait to get into him, so let's do it. First thing I want to mention with this guy is that he's being sold at the Home Depot exclusively for Halloween 2020 for $199, so $200 when you round that up. And may I also mention, Home Depot does these big sales 2 weeks before Halloween. That is right, Home Depot does their sales before Halloween so that you can get your stuff in time for Halloween. They do them about 2 weeks before Halloween, and they go big with their sales, and I mean big. The prices drop low. Now, enough with the pricing on this guy and the sale. Let's get into his appearance. The appearance on this guy is really what sells him for me. I'm not a big fan of the phrases, though I do like the voice. I'm not a big fan of the phrases, so the thing that I like about this guy is his appearance, and it really is one of the coolest looking clowns I've seen in a long time, if not ever. I'm really into the vintage clowns. He's definitely got that vintage clown appearance with the cone hat up here, so let's talk about that first. It's got blood on it, which I really like. It looks really nice, that splattered blood there. It's yellow and blue, so that's this guy's color scheme, is yellow and blue. And let's talk about his face now. I love it. The thing I love about this guy is that what I think he's obviously supposed to be a Jack-in-the-Box, but what he reminds me of is he reminds me of a vintage animatronic that you'd see at an old abandoned amusement park, just kind of sitting there on its own, rotting away. Especially how he kind of stops, tilted to the side there because of his animation. It definitely adds that appearance. He definitely looks like an old vintage animatronic you'd see at an amusement park. Just all the cracks in his face and everything, just take a look at this. This looks fantastic. The detail they put into this guy is impressive. It looks fantastic with all the cracks in the face and everything. The smile looks great. That's definitely a very sinister smile there. I love it. He's super, super creepy. His teeth look great. You can see his big wide grin, and of course his mouth has kind of the puppet look to it with the lines on the side, obviously because his mouth opens there, but I think that adds to it. That looks so cool. He's got these giant ears because this guy is massive, and I'll get into that in just a second. His eyebrows up there, very exaggerated clown eyebrows. I love the makeup around his eyes. That looks great. That's one of the coolest clown makeups I've seen on a prop. It looks great, especially mainly because I love how it like streaks all the way down to his near his chin there. I think that looks really, really good. This guy is enormous, and first I want to talk about the eyes because I forgot about those. His eyes look really cool. They do light up white, but they look really cool. He's got brown pupils there, kind of reddish, brownish, orangish. It's kind of hard to tell, but he's got very big eyes. He's very, very creepy, for sure. And he's very large. This guy is 6 feet tall, but he is enormous. I'm sure you've all seen Peekaboo Clown in person at this point, so since he's next to him, let's give a size comparison. Around his neck here, he has this big yellow kind of, you know, the whole thing that clowns have. It's got a bunch of dirt on it. It's big and yellow, as his color scheme is blue and yellow, which I like on him. Looks nice, and he's got kind of like a black mesh under there, which is kind of weird that they added that because you're never going to see it anyways, but they added it. His IR sensor attaches right there, and an interesting thing about him, obviously because he's the Jack-in-the-Box with the spring, he does not have an actual body frame or any clothing at all. None of this clothing is attached. These arms are a complete different piece than this. There's no actual clothing. There's just a few things to cover up his mechanics and stuff, but there's no actual full-out clothing that you can drape on this guy. Speaking of the arms, these are very big, and they stretch out very far. He's got blood stains on them. They are blue sleeves that he's wearing. But right from the arms, let's go to his hands, and I'll show this one because this one's more in the light. They both look exactly the same, so you can get a good look at that one, but they both look exactly the same. Look at how massive these hands are. These are crazy. They've got so many cracks in them and like wrinkles and stuff, though he's not supposed to be human, so those are just added there for detail, but they're not supposed to be real wrinkles. His hands are all cracked and everything. It looks great. He's got these giant fingernails here. Just My whole hand can wrap around his thumb. He is enormous. Wow, he's just so big. And his hands really do look great with all that detail. Looks very creepy, indeed. We have his spring, pretty much. It's not a real spring, but it does bounce a little bit when you move it like that. It doesn't do that in the activation, but that's only because of the way that it's attached up there and down there. But you do have his kind of spring here, which is just a wire covered in foam, which is then covered in blue fabric. But here is his Jack-in-the-Box, which is just a felt material, but it's got a really nice design on there. It looks very vintage circus-like. It says Jack-in-the-Box on it, and then it's got these little circus tent, this little circus tent design down here. I really like it. I think the Jack-in-the-Box looks great. The voice actor for this guy is Mike Reynolds. He does a great job on the voice for this guy. Now, Mike does a great job on the voice of this guy. My favorite phrase, and I honestly wish it was his only phrase, is the laughing phrase. It is fantastic. It's so creepy. That laugh is so creepy, and I love it. I wish that was his only phrase. It would have made the prop, like, even better than it already is.
Let's put a smile on that face of yours. Smiles or screams, either way works for me. I remember when you were little, there were so many things that you were so afraid of. What a little crybaby. I'll find you in your dreams and conjure up some new things to be afraid of. I like my little tune, don't you? It starts out quiet, and then, it surprises the pants off you. I love this job. Every haunted house needs a couple old rusty toys to give a little deathly atmosphere. I'm good for a quiet, gloomy home. Or a really loud one!
I absolutely adore this animatronic, and I highly recommend it. I am going to give this guy a full 10 out of 10. I highly recommend you pick him up for $200. I definitely don't think that's a bad price for this guy, seeing how large he is. Just everything about him is super cool, and I highly recommend him. I hope you all enjoyed this review. Keep howling at the moon, my werewolves.